by Eliza Coupe to look ahead to Future Man, the season premiere on Channel Sci-Fi here in the UK and Ireland. And I suppose, Eliza, Future Man, it's getting great publicity and praise all over the world, and we're really excited to see it here on our TV screens in Ireland. And maybe you can tell a bit of our audience what the show is about. From watching some of the episodes myself, I get a real sense of the 80s sort of vibe, Back to the Future, Marty sort of thing, and a real sort of bringing of the worlds together.
Yeah, it's hard to describe. I mean, it's definitely, we pull from Back to the Future, and that's a huge influence for us. Especially, the creators, and then definitely has an 80s vibe because Wolf spends a lot of time in the 80s, and it's got like a bit of there's just so many elements that are, all of it is comedic, but then there's some heart thrown in and some tender moments and a lot of crazy stuff. I mean, it really barely makes sense to me, and I'm in it.
Yeah, and I suppose, Eliza, your character herself, Tiger, she strikes me as a strong, sort of fierce, independent woman. And from the episodes I've seen, she seems to be shaken, and probably from the first few episodes of the series, out of her comfort zone, as that she's realising a dream or a nightmare to see all these sorts of realities that she thought couldn't resist, and she can't sort of make head or tail of the human world. Is that a fair explanation?
Yeah, that was really good, actually. That was great. I mean, she is very tough, and she just wants to stay on the mission. And the mission is, we just shot season 2, so my mission's different, and I can't remember my mission in season 1 at the moment. But we just needed to get, we were trying to find the savior, and then it all takes a turn because he's a janitor. So we end up doing a lot of crazy time travel, and it frustrates my character because I just want everyone to stay on the mission, which is to try to kill Cronish and change the course of history, therefore the course of the future.
Yeah, and I suppose, Eliza, looking at your character, one thing that struck me, I couldn't bear a resemblance to, I suppose, another real sci-fi show that was famous called Battlestar Galactica, called this character called Starbuck, played by Katie Sackhoff, and you can see the sort of striking similarities in relation to the mission, the strong, independent, sort of feisty character in relation to this sci-fi sort of universe. It's almost uncanny. But then you also see that she's able to hold her own around these sort of these powerful, as you said, main characters, the likes of Wolf, played by Derek Wilson, and she can sort of understand the boyish sort of naivety and immaturity of Josh Hutcherson's character, Josh Future Man, either. Yeah, so
it's interesting. I've never seen Battlestar Galactica, and I actually I feel like I should Google who you're talking about, because I have no idea. But sure, the same, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, and I suppose, Eliza, as well, the comedic sort of humour on the show as well. You can always have that sort of sci-fi reality, travelling to universe, save the world, but always those one-liners and the interaction between the characters is so important. Comedy, at the end of the day, you have to make the audience laugh, and I suppose the actors are no good at the writing, and you certainly have quality material to work from.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's the great thing is we will improvise off of certain things, but very rarely. I mean, the material is so good. The writing is so good. It's so complex, and there's just so much room for humor just across the board on everything that we don't really have to. I mean, I'm used to having to improvise off of a lot of writing, or not having to, but I choose to. And this is just so well written, and there's such a beautiful structure to it that, especially with it being time travel, every element is, you can't really take anything out or go off the script because it's all very important, and it's only a 22-minute show, so we can't really do that. But it's great because it's already so funny. and wonderful to play with.
And Eliza, maybe I can take you back for the start now. How did the opportunity come arise for you to get cast as a role of Tiger in Future Man?
Well, I was on a couple other shows, and they ended, and so the script was sent to me, and it was very, very different than what it was to be, and so I went in and had a meeting, and then I kind of forgot about it because I had a bunch of other meetings for other parts, and then I got an email from Evan Goldberg, one of the executive producers, along with Seth Rogen, and it was just basically saying I was shooting another show up in Montreal and couldn't get back for another meeting with them, and so they were just like, we really want you, and that was it. And it was great. I mean, but it was such a bizarre process because I had kind of forgotten about it, even though I loved it, and I was like, oh, that's too bad, and then it came back around. So it was good. It was very different, though.
Yeah.
The script was very different.
And Lisa, I suppose as well in relation to that, once you got the notice that you were going to be cast in the role of Tiger, did you know straight off who your co-stars would be in Josh Hutcherson or Derek Wilson, or for the first time meeting them and the interaction between them, did you know that you strike a bond and good friendships and relationship, and a tight crew and a tight cast always means a good production?
Well, I didn't know either one of them, and I knew Josh was attached, which was great. And I had definitely seen Hunger Games and read the books, so that was a good time. And then they had me go in to do a bunch of chemistry reads because they couldn't find who they wanted for Wolf. And so I went in and read with a bunch of other people, and none of them were the fit. And then they were telling me they really liked this guy, Derek, who was on their other show, Preacher, which was filming in New Mexico, so he couldn't be there. So we never did a chemistry read.
Right.
And then he got cast as the part, which I think is hilarious because I read with everyone else in Hollywood to find Wolf, except for the one person who actually got it, and he happens to be one of my best friends now. So it's great, and and both of them are. I mean, we're very close. The three of us are such good friends, and we have a great time together. I mean, I'm the only girl really on the show, and it's good I grew up with two brothers because it's easy.
Yeah, and Eliza, maybe you can run her through our audience now in relation to the production week on set in Future Man. From the time you come in of the Monday till you sit down and you get your script for the coming week and the table reads until the live shoot. And how long does it take to shoot an episode? And is there an awful lot of offset shooting or block shooting or different locations?
Oh, it's crazy. It's just the main takeaway is that it's crazy. It's not at all what I thought shooting a TV show would be when I was growing up in the middle of nowhere in New Hampshire. It's very, very complex and very just it's so exhausting. And we work anywhere from about 15 hours a day to sometimes 18 hours a day. And when we come in, well, we first do a table read, and we all read through the script, and then that's usually we do that at a lunchtime, and that's for the next episode. So while we're filming the current episode, we're going and having a table read for the next episode, and so we kind of get an idea of what we are going to be, what we're in for the next week. We shoot 2 episodes at a time in 9-day or 8-day. I can't even remember. It just is all, to me, it's all one. It's like a movie. I just do it all like it's one big thing. But when we come in, we usually have to be on set anywhere from 5 in the morning and then the days usually get pushed later because we have to have our 12-hour turnaround. So it ends up, whenever we end is when we come back in. But the start of the week is always very early, and we'll usually, have to get up there to set, which we were shooting in outside of LA. Kind of up in the desert when it was about 110 degrees every day, and so we film. We go in, we do hair and makeup, and it's about an hour and a half. And Derek has a longer time, Wolf, because he has a prosthetic scar that has to get put on. I have a lot of time because I wear a wig, which I didn't in the first season. So the first season, that was my real hair. I dyed it and nearly lost all of it trying to do that. So now I have a wig. I have great hair now, so don't worry. But I have a wig now, and so that takes a bit of time. And then I have a ton of tattoos on my own, so they have to cover some of them, and then they add some more for my character as well. So it's a whole process, and then we finally get out there on set, and we shoot the thing, and it takes hours and hours and hours, and sometimes just for like a one-page scene can take 3-4 hours.
Wow.
So it's very, we're very tired by the end, and then all the stunts, of course. We did a lot of that. I mean, we had incredible stunt doubles, but we ended up doing, we have to learn the whole thing so they can kind of pop us in at moments where then they would, kind of flash to us, and then all of a sudden they flash away from us, and it's like we do this amazing thing, and it's not us, and then they come back to us, and we throw like one punch or something, and it looks like we've done the whole thing. So we have to go do rehearsals for that as well on any break that we have while filming.
Yeah, and Elisa, many people would say sometimes when they shoot a long day's filming and they shoot a sort of multiple scenes that some actors and some actors don't like to see the final thing, or they wait and see it on TV, or some of them are anxious, or some of them want to see the product or what it's going to look like before TV. Do you enjoy each week sitting down and or the first time watching an episode back and seeing what's going out on TV land there, or is that something experience that you sort of enjoy yourself, or something that you feel anxious or hesitating to see what it looks like?
I never used to like watching anything for the other things I've been on, but I love watching this. I'm my worst critic, I would say. So I find something wrong with everything that I'm doing. But I'm trying to get better at that. I think every actor has that to some degree. I'd like to meet the actors who don't and be their best friend and learn from them. But I will pick myself apart, or, something about the performance, or I find all the little things that no one else finds, like, oh, my hair was off, or why didn't they do that, or where was, so it's a bit of I have to kind of shut that part of my brain off and just watch the final product and know that it's actually quite good. I mean, I would actually watch the show if I weren't in it.
Yeah, and how striking do you find it, Lisa, that the show has been shown worldwide, all over the world, and that's something that you're very proud of, and have you been in many other TV series that have been showed worldwide, and when you see the fans and excitement and the sci-fi universe fans getting behind this sort of a show, and it's sort of something that could run on for seasons and seasons, and something that you could be very much associated to this tiger character, which could lead to multiple roles, and she could be brought into different sorts of TV series, as we see in relation to Constantine, that John Constantine's character, another sci-fi series. And is that something that really appeals to you?
Well, yeah. I mean, all of that sounds great. I'd love for all of that to happen. I'd love for this character to expand and do many things. I love her, and also in season 2. I play many versions of myself, as I play different characters in season 2 that I have to have scenes with myself. So I kind of have expanded the role, sort of, but it's all within the same show. So it's always an incredible thrill, and it's really wonderful, of course, and such an honor and compliment to be shown all over the world. I mean, I've wanted to be an actor since I was 4 years old, in my small town where I grew up, and so this is amazing. I'm so grateful to it all, and it's also a bit surreal at the same time, because I just forget. I'm just a kid from New Hampshire that just is like, oh yeah, right, I'm on TV. I forget all the time.
Yeah, and Eliza Coupe, have you ever been to Ireland by any chance?
I haven't, but it's like I'm trying to go, actually, in the spring. I would like to go. I've really always wanted to go there, which has been, funny enough, it's been one of the places I've always wanted to go. And, so it's always been on my list of places to go. I wouldn't know where to go, though, so you'd have to tell me. Where are the best places?
County Clare, the south of Ireland, the Cliffs of Moher, Bunratty Castle. If you're into all that history and sightseeing and archaeology, the south of Ireland is definitely the spot anyway for the most beautiful sites and locations and beaches and seaside. The east of Ireland is more town and more urban anyway. So most American tourists love the south of Ireland.
Oh, okay. And what's the best time of year to go there?
I suppose the best time would be around around May, April. The weather does be quite decent around then anyway.
Oh, good. Okay. Well, if we're not filming season 3 by then I will probably be going there because I'm planning a whole trip over that way. And so that would be good. I mean, I grew up in New England, so it's I think the weather is probably very similar. From where I grew up.
Yeah, and Eliza?
Not winter. I don't like winter.
And Eliza, we have 30 seconds left, so we're going to leave it to your character herself, Tiger, and we're going to hand it over to Tiger for the last 30 seconds. Why should the people in our audience and our TV viewers and our listeners here in Ireland tune in to Futurama on Channel Sci-Fi here in the UK and Ireland, and we leave it to Tiger herself?
Because you'd be stupid not to, and it's the best show on television. It's the funniest show. It's the coolest show. It has the most action, heart, and comedy of any show. In fact, I don't think there's another show that has that. And, Eliza Coupe plays Tiger, so that in itself should be enough to get you there and watch it. So I feel like that's...
Eliza, it's been a pleasure talking to you on the airwaves this evening. We wish you all the best in relation to Futureman. We hope there's multiple seasons, as I'm sure it's going to be a huge success. We also wish you all the best in your future endeavours, and hopefully, please God, sometime we may talk to you again in the near future. Take care, Eliza.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Have a great day or night or whatever time it is over there.
Cheers, Eliza.